My name is Matthew Meto. I'm a survivor of sexual assault. Over the past few years, we've seen many powerful men, even many celebrities, being held accountable for their sexual assaults. There's something I'd like to say to each and every survivor of sexual assault. I believe you. The people believe you. I'll now share my story, because this happened to me too. It happened in 1997. I was a student at Mankato West High School in Minnesota. Well, I'm gay, and I realized this when I was 14 years old. I never came out to talk about it. No one knew about it. Not my parents, not my classmates, as things were different back then. In my senior year, I had a lot of problems piled up. My parents were going through a terrible divorce. And you know how it happens. Sometimes all you need is someone to talk to. Well, in my case, it was my teacher, Walz. One day, I approached him and asked him if we could talk. He agreed and asked me to stay after class. After all my classmates had left, just the two of us in the class, I started to vent. I told him about my parents. I told him about the struggles with my classmates. He seemed very understanding. But then at some point, the conversation got a little weird. I was sitting at my desk, and he was standing there at first. But then later he came closer and sat next to me. It was okay, and it seemed right because I was getting emotional. It was almost as if he wanted to comfort me. Once I was done talking, he gave me this very weird look, and he said, "I know what your real problem is, and you have nothing to be ashamed of." I was confused. Seeing me confused, he said, "I know how you feel about men, because I feel the same way too, and I can help you." He placed his hand on my knee and said, "It is okay, don't be afraid." He moved even closer, his hand reaching up, almost touching my couch. I froze at that moment. I couldn't grasp what was happening. Maybe he thought my silence meant I gave him a consent. But I just couldn't move. He unzipped my pants, his hand rubbing my genitals. I couldn't hear what he was saying. She started kissing my neck. I don't know how long it lasted. Maybe 15 seconds. Maybe 5 minutes. I just couldn't tell. I heard someone running down the hallway. Finally, I felt I could move. So I backed off and I ran away. I relapsed my stuff at school. I've never told anyone about this. Not to my parents. Not even to my school counselor. I was too afraid it was going to ruin my life. Who was going to believe me? I kept telling myself. After all, I was the only black guy in my class. Why do I come forward now? Because Walz visited Mankato West Side 3 days ago. It made me feel as if this happened just yesterday. I was worried about other sexual assault survivors planning to come forward. This gave me an odd kind of relief because I always blame myself for what happened. But then when I heard there was someone else, I felt horrified. Maybe if I'd come forward some 27 years ago, I could have prevented some other assaults.